did it, so we'll post it on the website after this meeting.
Please do. Thank you. Next.
Okay, and our next report is the Q3 board operating budget. And then also what we have in number E is our Kingston Police operating budget. So maybe what I can do is I can put those together. If there's questions, we can have Scarlett certainly come up. And then maybe before I get to those, I'll jump ahead. The Queen's homecoming and full coming report is present for you. I have to certainly tip my hat to the organizers and the commanders this year of Queen's Homecoming and Full Coming. Greg Sands, who oversaw the overall command, did a tremendous job in our financial department with assistance. He also did a tremendous job with our core team and our people who plan this in ensuring that we have a safe and certainly a safe event. And also that we're, as we've promised to the community that we're trying to reduce our footprint, we promised to the community that we will be fiscally responsible with our money. And I can tell you that Greg came in over $100,000 under budget, and that was operating St. Patrick's Day, that was operating homecoming, and that was operating fake homecoming. And considering we had 2 this year and we had 1 last year, that's a tremendous feat. And for all the people who chipped in, it's an organization who does it, but we're working towards obviously being fiscally responsible. We came in under budget, which is good because we never had a budget before for it. And accolades to our whole command staff, our civilians, our uniform officers. And I know next month we're going to have a presentation outlining how it all happened. So I won't steal all of Greg's thunder right now, but a tremendous job on your part, Inspector Sands. Thank you so much, and to everybody who chipped in.
Good job, Greg. All right. Thank you.
And then as far as our Q3 board operating budget report and our Kingston Police operating report, it's just the Q3 reports will be going obviously to council, and as well, I don't know if there's questions relating to that. Scarlett's here as well, who would be happy to discuss it further, but we're happy to report we're on budget, and we're continuing to work. Certainly all of our staff in financial responsibility and understanding that if we budget for it and it's there, great. And if we haven't budgeted for it, then where do we find the money to do things that we have to do or things that come up? So who knows where the rest of this year will go? We're getting near the end. I touch wood that it's going to be a nice, safe holiday season. And certainly for us, budget-wise, we'll continue to exercise the board's vision of being fiscally responsible and accountable and ensuring that our money is spent where it's supposed to be spent. And once again, I applaud our command team for initiating that compliance throughout our organization. And we know things do come up. There's things that are out of our control. We outline those expenses. We certainly pull those expenses out so they can be, the public can be notified. When we have homicides or specific events that come up, like St. Patrick's homecoming and things like that. So we'll continue to do that. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And more specifically, Scarlett's here as well. Scarlett, thank you for all your hard work on this stuff. It's not easy. And I know in the year you've been here, it's been a tremendous asset for us. So thank you so much.
Is there any questions for Scarlett or the chief on budgetary wise? No? Okay, very good.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I believe it was our last police board meeting that we were discussing at length about the importance of encouraging people to report crime if they see it, and making sure that people understand, right, how that drives a lot of the work and the action that we see here at police. If we don't know about what's happening, then it's hard for us to respond to it. So in conversations that I've had with the mayor of Oshawa, and it's always useful to be able to compare notes with other cities and with other mayors. One of the campaigns that they had tried a number of years ago was basically if you see it, report it campaign. It was basically rolled out by the city with support of police to basically encourage the reporting that we've talked about. And so I wanted to, before bringing something to city council, I want to bring something to this board as well, just to get any feedback, just get the pulse of this board. If we think that that's something that would be a valuable campaign, that I would bring something to council. It could be city led, but we would certainly want police to be involved with that campaign, give us the necessary tools and thoughts and feedback that we could roll something like that out in the new year. So I just kind of, Chief, I would love to get your feedback, or the rest of the board, if there's any thoughts or concerns, or if we think it's a good idea that that's something I could.
Thank you. Yes, tremendous idea. I can tell you from our perspective, we continually are encouraging people to report crimes. You know, officers on the road, comm center, front desk, online, we're, through our social media, things like that to encourage. But anything that can be done on a citywide campaign is very beneficial. And if you want to look to Europe, if you go to Europe and travel on any form of public transport in Europe, they have automated recordings, and it'll say, see it, say it, sort it, and see it, say something, and then we'll get it sorted. And if you don't say anything, we can't deal with it. So being that see it, report it, see it, say it, whatever it is, people have to be continually encouraged, because we're in a situation now where we call it victim fatigue, where people have been victimized so often. My car gets broken into all the time. My house gets broken into, my garage, my bike gets stolen all the time. I've stopped reporting it. And oftentimes, all you have to do is go to our auction and look how many bikes that we sell at the auction, because nobody's come to report them, because we don't know they've had their bike stolen. They haven't reported it. So any help we can get there, we do have the ability. People can phone in, people can do online reporting, people can walk in, they can flag an officer down on the road. And we know that there's other avenues out there that are available as well. And oftentimes people may want to report, maybe it's not a crime, but maybe it's something important to the city, and having that ability to, if it's a one-stop shop, you have 211, which is another valuable resource in the community phone number that not many people know about, and trying to get people to understand 211's there too. If you don't know, if you can go through an automated system that kind of tells you. So I think from a policing perspective, we would be 100% behind that from the police department's point of view, certainly from my point of view. And we continually work on that, but we understand that it's tough times, and we certainly hear from people why they may not report, and we continually try and encourage them and do our part to try and apprehend.
Jimmy. And then go.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through you. It's a great idea, and I appreciate it. As the mayor said, that it's our last board meeting for this board for this year. I have to use this one. So, on a personal note, I want to thank you, the chief, the deputy chiefs, all the deputy chiefs throughout the year who took the responsibility, and the member of the force for doing a great job. Personally, as a Kingstonian, I see a slight difference in the services, but I feel personally, and the feedback I have from the constituents and the many fellow Kingstonians, being on the police service board, I get contact by all over the city from the people quite often. The biggest challenge we are facing right now, when somebody tried to contact with the office, with the police officer, or anywhere for any crime, they don't get the answer what expecting it, or they don't feel that they got enough help. For example, if somebody called for something or to report that they need help from the officer, somebody will show up there for after 2 hours when that, for example, if somebody is in the washroom, is a homeless person or whoever is there, by the time the police officer go there, it's 2 hours already and he's gone. So that call has been wasted, the time has been wasted, and the resident is not satisfied with the service. So I think it's a good idea to put in that campaign for continue coaching and training for our officers and our force, that how to respond positively to the citizen, to give them that confidence to come up and report. Until we give them the confidence and they feel that challenge is over, we will have no problem. Right? The biggest problem, people don't want to come forward, but they have the impression that police will not do anything. They will not be there when we need it. Or some officer will say, sorry, I cannot do anything. You are on your own. So those are the things need to be considered first before I think we start a campaign, that how we can increase the confidence level of the citizens, how we can make sure that they are standing with us to come forward. That is the main challenge what I feel feeling it. And I think this is one point I want to add into that. So we should increase the confidence of the citizens so they can come forward to report and work together with us.
And no, thank you very much. And I know that we'd received some feedback from the community on that over the summer. And Inspector Pete, who's present here, created a guideline document for our staff just to update the board for all of our staff. It was disseminated to all of our staff because we ran into some issues where we know that certain like open use drugs where we need another offense in order to make an arrest, which is just unfortunately changes in the law. But we had officers who were going and we're like, well, we're not allowed to because, it's just a person. They don't have much drugs on them and they're, smoking a crack pipe or whatever. And then Brian put together a great guideline document to say, no, here are some of the things that we can do. So I think it's an ongoing as the laws are changing and, it's keeping our staff informed. And then further, when people are calling in, understanding what the need is. And we have to prioritize our calls and it's just the nature of the beast because we get a lot of calls and so they're in a priority sequence. And, sometimes like the example you gave where a person may be locked in the bathroom, there may be more violent offenses taking place right at the time. And as soon as we can clear somebody, they will go, or there may be officers tied up at the hospital under mental health apprehensions, which limits our capacity on the road. We're continuing to work on that too. But it's a point that's well taken. I know we've started, we've got more room to improve, but thanks to Brian Pete's handy work and his guideline for officers, it's a start and we'll continue building off that.
I completely understand that, but this is my question, how we can add into the campaign that people understand that why somebody was there after 2 hours. So how will the priority take place?
Brian, go ahead.
So I think that the motion that I would bring forward to City Council would basically provide direction to both city staff to work with police, then to develop different components of the campaign. So obviously that could be one piece of it, and ultimately the goal here is to encourage reporting and make sure that obviously then that both ends of that are affected. So.
Very good. Okay. Thanks, Jimmy. Gail, did you have a question?
Sorry, thank you. The only thing that I would like to add to that, and given the concern that was raised, is if there are extra resource needs, I think that that's something that I would appreciate, and I'm sure that the mayor would appreciate hearing about, because in order for any campaign to be truly effective, it needs to be well resourced. So if you could let us know and work with your executive team to determine what those needs might be, I think that would be incredibly helpful to ensuring a successful campaign that both the city and the constituents can be proud of. So thank you.
And anything the board can do to help facilitate it as well. Right? Okay. Then that will end our in public session of this meeting. We'll move to the in-camera portion. Can I have a first or seconder? Thank you, Brian, Gail. And there'll be the board to move in camera to discuss the following matters listed in the public agenda. Okay, thank you. Very good. Okay, actually, so